Welcome to Vital Signs, where we talk about all things your greatest asset, your health. Here today, I am really excited to have a conversation that's been on the top of a lot of people's minds. How do you stay motivated during your health journey? Yes, I know you have asked and I have heard your requests. So I have curated the best expert for you. It is Brian Fetzer. He's been here before. He has over 28 years of experience in peak human performance, sports, medicine, etc. And he's going to dial in on how to stay motivated and maintain that healthy lifestyle, which sometimes feels like a losing battle. Welcome back to the show, Brian.
Jen, it's a pleasure to join you again.
I know we were talking before we came on the air about this particular topic, but it seems to be hitting very heavy. So a lot of people hit it hard January, February. We're going on this amazing journey. Maybe we've dropped a few pounds. Maybe we're feeling a little bit stronger. And then life starts happening and we fall off the bandwagon. Or things just get busy at work, etc. I know you've seen this before. What strategies do you recommend for people who, when life happens, fall off the bandwagon so they can stay consistent with their health goals?
Well, there's several points to that. One, you have to make sure you're doing things that you enjoy. Fitness doesn't have to be necessarily running or working out or any of those kind of specific things. Say working out, strength training with weights. You can do a lot of variety. Getting a walking group, joining a group that goes on walks together. Getting in a membership with a fitness regimen that has others involved. Community is the absolute key to maintaining. I'm self-motivated. I love to work out. That's my stress reliever. To get in, put the headphones on. I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to go hit the weights and do it. But that's me. That's not most people. My wife's definitely not that way. She wants to be in a class where there's others that are kind of going through that same struggle of being motivated. Hey, you want to be fit, you want to be in shape, but you really got to do it with somebody else. And that's a huge piece of it is have a community, have some accountability within yourself and within the group and choosing something that you like to do.
I couldn't agree with you more. If we don't love it, we don't show up. It's really hard to build those habits, really hard to stick with it when it gets tough. And so for the people who are asking, well, I really don't want to join a gym or something, how do I find that community? Do you have any advice for those people in finding or maybe building a community to help them with their motivation?
It's funny. A lot of people go to have coffee shops. They have little bulletin boards on coffee shops to talk about walking groups. A lot of churches and civic organizations have specific. Hey, we're gonna walk on Wednesdays. I have a friend that's based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and she has a walking group on Wednesdays. That a bunch of women get together of like-mindedness, and they get together and they go for a walk. Something as simple as that. That to me that sounds simple, but that's a great way. You're out in fresh air, you're getting things going, you're getting your body moving. It's a good starting place for that fitness journey.
I really like that. And I'm a huge fan of vitamins, fresh air, and sunshine, which we get usually here in the Houston area. So, talk to me about the nutrition side of this because it's a little bit easier to think about community and that support and accountability when we're going out and we're walking and we're meeting with people and we're doing something fun. How do we do that for the other side of it, like the nutrition side, for example?
Well, one thing you got to plan. You got to have a plan in place. You can't just free will, free swinging it at trying to get meals together. Typically, when people eat something that's not great for them, it's because they do it at the last minute. They rush through. That's the whole premise of fast food. Hey, I'm hungry. I want to grab something. Typically, that's not something that's best for you. Do some meal prep. If Sunday is your day before you start the week, prep some meals so you can at least get through Monday through Wednesday of having some meals that are prepared ahead of time that you can put together and eat during the week. From a nutrition standpoint, a lot of times we're deficient in certain items. We're deficient in protein. Protein is probably the item that most people are the most deficient in because it takes a little more to prepare. You can't just nuke it in a microwave. You've got to prepare it a little bit more challenging to prepare. But getting protein in your body, eggs, good, red meats, fish. And if you're vegetarian, there's beans, there's a lot of other items that, can kind of fill that void of getting some protein in you.
Let me talk about this, because you and I have talked about the importance of protein in the past, and I'm a woman of a certain stage, and what we used to be told, in the 1990s was acceptable is not what research shows anymore. And as we're all deficient, many of us are deficient in protein. What should we be aiming for in an easy math sort of way, or maybe no math sort of way, on a daily basis from a nutrition standpoint, if we're looking to get that in and make sure we're not in deficit?
Well, one is making sure you have protein with every meal. Another basic just thought process is, if you can eat enough protein in a sitting that's about the size of your fist, basic, easy, a piece of chicken, a couple eggs, a small piece of meat, small piece of fish. That at least gives you the guidelines or the basis for, hey, this is about what I need to eat. Now, there's so many diets out there right now. I mean, you have the carnivore diet, and you have all kind of diets that you see kind of go up and down, paleo, keto. I mean, I could run through a list of them, and I know, Jen, I'm sure you've probably seen or heard all of them. But diets don't really work. They might last for a little bit, but it's really changing the lifestyle and making sure that you stick to what you're going to do and do it for a longer period of time. 21 days is about the time period research shows that a habit can be created. 90 days is when something becomes permanent and you do it for good. So if you kind of keep that in mind, 21 days, 90 days to kind of get things to where they need to be.
And so I'm hearing you. I love what you're saying. What about snacks? Like, what are some of the ways to get that in? Do we need proteins in our snacks as well? Because this came up. Like, it seems like there's a lot of misinformation and there's a lot of back and forth out there. What should we be thinking about if we're hungry between our meals? How should we be solving those problems?
Well, I mean, nuts are a great way to provide a high protein, good, dense source, and that's very nutritional. Protein shakes or different meal replacement shakes are also great. One of the things that has been a mainstay with me and trying to help my discipline of what I eat is, if it's not in the house, I'm probably not going to eat it. So if you don't want to be snacking on potato chips or a lot of processed foods, make sure you don't have it in your house. Make sure that the items that are in your house are, or at work with you, or bringing a snack bag with you to work, make sure those items are actually good for you. If you have to read a label to determine whether it's good for you, it's probably not good for you. It's just another simple hint.
I
If we
love
think
it.
about
Keep it simple.
Hey, if you think about our grandparents and back in the day, they weren't looking at the label ingredients and saying, oh, I think this has the best stuff in it. No, because it was eating a chicken or eating eggs or drinking milk. It was very simple. Apples. I mean, I could go on a list of different fruits and vegetables and proteins that are good for you. But if you happen to read the label to determine if it's good for you, it's probably not going to be good for you.
I think that's an excellent piece of sage advice. So, folks, I just want to kind of wrap up this before we have to take a break. Brian, you've been absolutely phenomenal. We've all been working on this. We're trying to stay healthy. Get a community. Find something movement wise that you love, and find a community to help you stay motivated in your fitness journey. And always get protein in every meal. Think about whole foods, not processed foods. If you have to read a label, it's probably not the best idea. And meal prep. Those are some excellent strategies for staying motivated and keeping going and consistent with your health goals. And I want to reiterate something else that Brian said, and that's 21 days to form a habit, to start a habit. 90 days for it to just become a part of who you are and what you do. So 21 and 90 are your numbers to know. Brian, how can people reach out to you if they'd like to learn more?
They can go to our website, ironfaithnutrition.com. They could hit me up on LinkedIn at Coach Fetz, or on social media. I definitely respond. Or you can shoot us an email at info@ironfaithnutrition.com, and I will absolutely, make sure that email will make sure it gets to me.
Fantastic. Thank you for your expertise. We do have to take a brief break, but you're going to stick around because we're going to talk about avoiding burnout and injury in fitness while you're trying to up level your health. We'll be right back after these messages.